known to lure people to their deaths. She first sent Brian running off madly through the forest.
Brian!
He very well could have died from falling, breaking his neck.
Hey, Brian, where are you? We're getting separated.
Or just the spirit of Mary Dean straight out killing him.
And now, the wicked entity has set her sights on Deborah.
Each situation of haunting and possession can be very different depending on who the person is and how they handle the fear.
Brian! Brian!
Jesse? Where's Deb?
The feeling of, oh my God, you know, these people trust me. I just lost somebody.
Deb! Deb! Deb, can you hear us?
We had lost one person that was doing the investigation with us. We didn't know where C was.
Deb! Deb! Answer us if you can! Deb! Brian, you gotta stop. You gotta stop.
She went out this way. I'm like, no, let's just go back to the vehicle.
Jesse's like, we need to go back. We need to go back. And I'm like, no, I'm gonna find her.
Deb! Where are you, Deb? Debbie!
So, trying to be logical about the whole situation. I mean, Brian could just purely been only concerned about our friend Deb's safety, but, you know, it wasn't logical that C had ran off into the woods.
Jesse suspects Brian hasn't actually rid himself of whatever force gripped him earlier,
Debbie!
and that he's still under the sway of Mary Dean.
Deb! Deb! Can you hear us, Deb?
And he's not listening to me. He's just running into the woods, just screaming, yelling for her.
Deb! Where are you? Deb! Deb! Jesse, this is not good. We have to find her.
I wasn't having any luck getting Brian to see reason, so I followed him.
Can't you feel that?
Brian was acting weird. He's a little more sensitive to paranormal things.
There's something out there.
At the time, I was still under the influence of whatever is going on.
We gotta get back to the parking lot, man.
I remember that Jesse, at that time, he's really trying to get me back to get to the car.
Wouldn't listen to me, trying to talk sense into getting back to the vehicle. So it definitely seemed like Brian was being pulled into or drawn into the woods by some unknown entity.
I think I wasn't looking for Deb. I think something wanted to be found out there.
With Brian acting crazy in general, it now had me completely scared and freaked out.
There's something out there. It's trying to pull us further away.
I was still captivated by whatever is taking control of me.
Through all of this, Deborah is left on her own, an easy target for Mary Dean's deadly intentions.
All I heard was the wind and the rain and the thunder. It was crazy, crazy loud.
We leave kind of an opening for something else to step in. And so in those cases, souls of ghosts or earthbound spirits see that as an opportunity to actually step into our physical realm. And that gives them the ability to have more interaction with the physical world. The one frustrating thing for a ghost is that they're not in the physical world anymore. So they're going to be seeking opportunities to reconnect with being able to touch and to feel.
Now the storm is rolling in full force.
Brian and Jesse finally catch up with Deborah, and now the real terror begins.
Did you see it? Did you see it? See what?
At one point, Brian thought he saw a figure of somebody standing.
That sense of dread, the scary feeling that I felt.
The sight of Mary Dean entrancing their friend is clearly visible to the terrified Brian, but not to Jesse.
Did you see it? See what?
Jesse doesn't see it.
After shining a light directly out there, I would have seen Mary Dean out there.
When your logical mind is engaged, it will tell you that things aren't there. That's because your logical mind is engaging and saying, there is nothing there.
It seems only Brian can see Mary Dean eagerly luring another victim to her demise.
Just wait. There!
And finally, at that point, I was able to snap out of it.
Now, the malevolent spirit is clearly visible to all, but it may be too late to stop her.
Just the fact that there's no one to help you. If you're being sucked into the spell, you're doomed.
A team of elite paranormal investigators has come seeking the murderous ghost of Mary Dean. Jesse has freed Brian from his possession at the spirit's hands, but then they realize their colleague Deborah is missing.
Deb! Deb, can you hear us?
The idea of spirits scares people. The big part of it is because people are afraid of what they can't see.
After searching the woods, they finally locate Deborah, but something's wrong.
The wind actually starts picking up.
Wait. Just wait. There!
And we saw like a flash. And finally, at that point, we saw the figure of Mary Dean.
And it looks like Mary Dean is ready to lure another victim to her doom.
I really can't explain it. It was scary.
Deb! Deb!
I'm screaming on top of my lungs. I don't understand. Even with the wind and stuff blowing up, she would have heard me.
And what happens is our defenses go down. Our ability to prevent that attack gets hindered.
Brian manages to sever Mary Dean's hold over his teammate.
I feel that if my team wasn't there, Deb could have just wandered right into the water.
Deb! Deb! Can you hear me?
At that moment, I'm relieved. Like, obviously, she's okay.
Can you hear me? What happened? No. Can you walk? Yeah.
But there's no telling if Mary Dean will return for them. So they decide to leave as fast as they can.
Tragic. I can't express the sadness of this whole entire story.
So it is really an important thing to have some reverence when you're going into these types of situations.
They think they're free, and that whatever spell Mary Dean cast on them has been broken. But the angry spirit isn't done with them yet.
If spirits don't want you there, or if they object to you being there, sometimes they'll follow you home, and it's simply a message. Don't mess with us, and don't come back. We don't want you there. You're not welcome. This is just a warning as to the kind of power that we have.
Did this thing just attack me? Feels like somebody clawed my back. That's what it feels like.
Are you doing that? No, I know.
I need to look at my back.
So we pulled up the back of his t-shirt, and there was this big red scratch across his back.
Are you doing that?
I feel burning on my back.
Brian was flinching in pain.
Come on, I know you're still out there.
It doesn't scare him, it just makes him angry. And he was yelling into the woods.
Come on, come at me again.
You gotta stay humble. If you're doing an investigation, if you're gonna be cocky and arrogant, you're asking for it.
It's probably best, if you're an investigator, to pull out of the investigation altogether. It's not really a good idea, in my opinion, to confront them. You're not going to win that war.
I was lucky to have my team with me that day.
This location ended up being far more than what we ever expected, but what ended up happening was just phenomenal.
Let's go.
I was concerned, especially for Brian's safety, being he was the one getting attacked. So it was time to go and get away from this dangerous place.
The crew gets out alive. Their most frightening encounter since the terror-filled night among the ruins of the Maribel Hotel. Hotel Hell. When the ghosts they were hunting came hunting for them.
What the hell was that?
Stuff happens, but it's not the first time that messing with these things. Go back. Even no matter how experienced you are, can get out of control.
And it was just phenomenal. One of the craziest things that we've ever had happen to us as a team.
I definitely think that we were lucky to get away that night. The entity clearly wanted to harm us in some way. I honestly think the only thing that saved us was that we were there together and not alone.
Tonight, Brian, Jesse, and Deborah feel the same way.
Everything that's happened out here, all as a whole, I'd have to say that it was definitely like an omen to stay away from this place.
We haven't even gone back to Mary Dean, Wisconsin since.
The team has learned how easily ghost hunters can become the ones who are hunted.